Hey, John, I think you need to connect the volume to the boardroom. Thanks.
You're getting the message. Still over there, it's all right. It's okay. It's okay. Better, take it. Hire people and not have people complain. Okay. Okay. Okay, everybody, is, Dr. Young, Dr. Taylor, and Kyle Crother on the line?
Yep.
I think I see Dr. Young and then Kyle. Okay, great. All right, everybody, we're ready to go this evening. Glad to have you here. Welcome to West Valley Water District. Today is Thursday, August 5th, 2021. It is approximately 6:46 in the p.m. and this meeting is called to order. Let's start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, Director Young, can you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Sure, certainly. Join me with me. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, excellent. For tonight, for the invocation, we have Pastor Bratton from Greater Faith Grace Baptist Church, Bible Church.
Yes.
Pastor Bratton, are you on the line?
I am. Can you hear me?
Hey, how you doing this evening, Pastor Bratton? We're glad to have you join us.
Doing well.
All right.
Okay. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, I lift up and pray for the West Valley Water District this evening. Father, I pray that you would touch their hearts and bless them. Guide them through all the intricacies of the agenda. Help them put their hearts and minds on the same page to make decisions, Lord, that will benefit the recipient whom they serve. We know, God, sometimes our things change drastically and we don't always know what the future holds, but I pray, God, that you would give them wisdom, instruction, help them, God, to meet all the demands that they pop upon their situation. Bless them, God, let this meeting be profitable, be meaningful and helpful. And above all, Lord, I pray that when it's all said and done, they will know they've done something profitable and accomplished the work that the vision sets forth to do. I pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. All right. Next up is the roll call of the board members. Secretary Ashe.
Director Dr. Clifford Young.
Dr. Young, can you go off mute, please?
Yes. Here.
Okay. Thank
Director
you.
Greg Young.
Here.
Director Dr. Michael Taylor.
Present.
Vice President Kyle Crowther.
Present.
And President Channing Hawkins.
Yes, it's present. Okay, thank you all. With that being said, let's go with public comment. Secretary Ashe.
Adopt the agenda.
Oh, I'm sorry. Adopt the agenda.
I'll make a motion that we adopt the agenda.
All right, is there a second?
I'll second.
I'll second.
All right, motion's been made to adopt the agenda and properly seconded. No discussion. Secretary Ashe, call for the vote.
Director Dr. Clifford Young.
Yes.
Director Greg Young.
Yes.
Director Dr. Michael Taylor.
Yes.
Vice President Kyle Crowther.
Yes.
And President Channing Hawkins.
Yes. All right, moving on to public comments. Secretary Ashe.
Under the State of California Brown Act, the Board of Directors is prohibited from discussing or taking action on any item not listed on the posted agenda. In the effort to prevent the spread of COVID-19 and in accordance with the Governor's executive order and the order of the County San Bernardino dated March 17, 2020, there will be no public location for attending this board meeting. in person. Members of the public may listen and provide public comment via telephone by calling the following number and access code, 888-475-4499. Access code is 840-293-7790, or you may join the meeting using Zoom. Public comment may also be submitted via email to the board secretary, Peggy Ashe at peggy@wgwd.org. Or the webinar will also be available for public viewing by visiting the district's website.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you very much. Is there any public comment?
Yes, President Hawkins, I did receive an email from Hardy Brown that would like to be read to the record.
Yes.
Okay, hello everyone, I have been watching and keeping up with you by Zoom and still reviewing minutes of the West Valley Water District. What promoted me to respond tonight is the ID Works apprenticeship program you presented at your last meeting that was explained to Don Scribb and me long before it was introduced to this board. As a matter of fact, the late Clarence Mansell spoke about the program at Westside Action Group meeting at the Boys and Girls Club in San Bernardino. It was said by Brian Burke of the Pittsburgh Penguins, sometimes you do all the hard work and set the table and somebody else eats the meal. Clarence did not care about who would take credit for something that could benefit people. That was the kind of man Clarence Mansell was with his ideas. He would share ideas so others might get the credit, so those in need might get the service. So I'm happy that you are seeing his dream come true. My other reason for addressing you tonight is to ask two questions. To see if Dr. Clifford Young has paid the money back to West Valley, and the other question is for the record, how much money was paid to Mr. Bob Chrisman's widow? Thank you for your time and service to the ratepayers of West Valley Water District. Hardy Brown.
All right. God bless the soul of Mr. Mansell. May him and his family, I know that his passage probably had a big impact on him and his family and those who loved him. Moving on to the next public comment.
I did receive a request from June Hayes that would like to speak.
Hey, Dr. June, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. I want to screen share, but I'm not figuring out how to do it. I want to share a something that I have on my AOL account, but it's not showing. There it is. Okay, I think I've got it. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So what I want to talk about a little bit, June Hayes, San Bernardino Valley Municipal Water District. Many of you have probably seen the press release. Actually, I have not, but I hear it was good. But San Bernardino Valley just recently did their annual debt service evaluation on how much we would charge for our bond for the state water project. And I just wanted to share that news and also do a really quick review of how Valley gets their money. We have two funds. One is our general fund, and that comes from this 1% tax that if you'll see my arrow that is levied on your tax fund, and you'll see down here San Bernardino Valley gets 2.77 cents per $100 of assessed value for our general fund. That's our operating expenses. We of course get some money for water sales. Those are not restricted funds. The fund that we just looked at is this one that I'm pointing out on my arrow right now. And that is a restricted fund. It has a lot of money in it. People think that we're hoarding this money and doing this. We ought to spend some of this money or whatever. But it is a restricted fund, and it is set there so that when if and when Delta Conveyance and South Reservoir are built, we will not have to take out another bond, but rather we will use this money that we have in a reserve account for that purpose. Every year we evaluate this to see whether this amount is accurate. And I want to let you know that where you see here that right now you're paying 14.25 cents per $100 of assessed value on your taxes, that when you see your tax bill in the fall, that will be down to 13 cents per $100 of assessed value. And that's an 8% decrease. And I just wanted to share that great news with you and be happy to answer any questions.
Do we have any questions from any of the directors? Okay, no questions, but I do want to thank San Bernardino Municipal Valley Water District, particularly you, June Hayes, Director Hayes, Director Botello, Director Longville, Director Harrison, as well as Director Kehoe, President Kehoe, for your good stewardship of your financial resources there. I'm sure the ratepayers and everyone else involved will benefit from are going to benefit from your good financial stewardship. Thank you for your presentation this evening, Dr. June. Moving on, are there any other public comments?
I haven't received any emails. I didn't know if anyone in the public.
All right, going once, going twice, going 3 times. All right, public comment is closed. Moving on. IE Works intern introduction. Just really quickly before we get into the IE Works intern introduction, who's leading the presentation this evening?
I will start,
Okay.
and then we'll have Katie finish it up.
Just a little bit about the IE Works. You know, I want to really congratulate the members of the board for voting to approve this project and for dedicating resources, for being the first ones to help lead this endeavor in our region. It is paying off dividends, not only for us, but there are approximately 5 other districts who are a part of it currently. This endeavor was just a thought and idea that we had as a board, and, you know, and having the wherewithal and capacity to lead in this effort is really speaks to our staff, Ricky Mambahal, Naseem Faruqi, and others, our HR, Van Ju, and others who have really participated to help put this effort in place, who attend all those meetings, work with all those other districts, who toiled for over a year and a half. You know, I want to thank the board of directors and our Aqua meeting, the first one I ever went to in February of what was that, 2020, Mike, when we went out to DC and we met with our legislative representatives in DC, as well as a member of the Trump administration regarding this project, and the idea that it went from that concept then to where we are now. And so I just want to make sure we thank everybody who's been involved, and of course, JBS. I see Scott Goodell here this evening, and Elizabeth, I don't see her on the line, but all the crew up north who's been a part of this and helping us implement this, who's done their part as far as helping to develop the model that we're implementing now and doing all the support and everything with it. So I just want to say thank you to everybody. Ricky?
Thank you, sir, and I definitely echo your sentiments. I just wanted to recap this program real quick. We were at this for about a year and a half with the vision of our board president and the rest of our board members. And again, thank you all for your continued support in this. And I'm really excited that this program took the direction it did, and with the help of JBS to guide us through this, we were able to secure funding. And tonight, we're here to introduce 2 of the 3 interns that that's starting off this program. So this is the first phase of the program, and then the next phase is the apprenticeship. So again, I think we all need to congratulate ourselves for a job well done, and be very proud to have this program going to introduce folks to this industry where we really need the talent. So Haiti will now give us a little bio of our interns.
Good evening, Mr. President and members of the board. Tonight, we are pleased to present our first participants in the IE Works internship program. They have completed 2 weeks of the 10-week program, and the first participant is Demetrius Glass. He is detail-oriented. This gentleman is detail-oriented and possesses 5 years of work experience. He expects to graduate in December from San Bernardino Valley College with an Associate of Science degree in Water Technology. And we have Jacinda Ashbom, who is seeking to acquire the hands-on experience provided by the internship program that will allow her the opportunity to seek employment with the water agency. Jacinda is scheduled to complete the certificate program in water supply technology at San Bernardino Valley College this December. Their enthusiasm and positive attitude are a testament of their drive to become well-rounded and understand the water system operations, which will allow them to become marketable and secure employment in the water industry in the near future.
Thank you.
And a warm welcome to West Valley Water District. Hopefully you're going to enjoy your stay here.
Well, how's it been so far? Can I ask that?
Yeah, let's hear from you two.
Can we hear from you really briefly, just how it's been so far and what you've been doing? Just come on up to the mic over there.
Share a little bit what you've been working on.
Yeah, what you've been working on and what you're doing.
Hello, my name's Jacinda. Hello, my name's Jacinda. I've been in the metering department for these past 2 weeks. Honestly, this is a completely amazing opportunity. I am so happy to be here at West Valley Water District. I have been looking throughout my college for any kind of opportunity, and I am so happy my teacher, Melita Colabetti, is over there. She let me know, she let me through to JVS, IE Works. I'm very grateful for both the head, the president, and all the employees under them for granting us this opportunity to come into here. I look forward to working with them in the future. I look forward to working with them through the rest of the internship. Honestly, thanks to you, my future looks much brighter.
Okay. And then which city are you from?
I am from Fontana.
All right, that's Kyle's area over there. There we go. All right, City of Fontana, local job.
Hello, board. My name is Demetrius Glass. I've been working in the distribution department and, with these two gentlemen right there. And we've been bulldozing basically concrete lines, service lines, even painting fire extinguishers and everything like that. The work is backbreaking. That's one thing I can tell you, but at the same time, there's a lot of knowledge. And these gentlemen right here, I only speak for those two as much as I can speak for a lot of them. It's just great group of guys to be around, like every single individual one. It just makes the work even that much fun, and it just makes it that much intriguing just to get into it. You learn a lot. I think distribution is one of the many departments that you can think about that have to do with a lot of stuff that basically hands-on when it comes down to a lot of work. And I think that's like the heart of it. Connor and Abe, like, my heart goes out to you guys, man. Like, seriously. I mean, for the 2 weeks that I've been here, you guys taught me a lot. And it's more than the internship, it's like brotherhood. And I really appreciate that from you guys. And thank you for the board and the committee for giving us this opportunity. It's something that I'm forever grateful for. It just makes me hungry for more.
All right.
For sure.
All right, and then which city, which area are you from?
San Bernardino.
All right, San Bernardino, all right.
Okay, we also have, 2 new employees, full-time employees that started recently, and, Haiti will go ahead and introduce them to the board.
Okay, so we have our two new employees that are water system operator 1. Albert Herrera possesses 2 years of experience in water industry. He started as an intern at Roland Water District, then hired on full-time at the City of Chino Hills as a maintenance worker 2. He recently passed his D2 and acquired his Class A license. He also has a T2 and a and wastewater collection certificate along with a water supply technology certificate from San Bernardino Valley College. Outside of work, he enjoys traveling, working on his Jeep, picking up small projects around the house, and going off-roading. Connor McReynolds is also a Water Systems Operator 1. He comes to us from San Bernardino Special District, where he was a Maintenance Worker 1 trainee. He possesses an associate's degree in computer science from Citrus College, and he also has a D2 and T2 certificates, and he is bilingual in Spanish. His personal statement is, I enjoy working with and learning more about water industry, distribution, treatment, and production. It's all for my personal fulfillment. I eat, sleep, and work water.
Wow. There you go. Excellent. So, come on up, guys. Come on up. So, which area are you guys from? Are you guys from the local area too?
I currently live in Ontario.
Okay. All right. Close enough. Yeah.
I grew up in San Bernardino.
All right. Okay. Local guys. Thank you all for joining the West Valley family here. All right. Thank you for having us. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We're proud to have you. We had a hiring freeze for a good amount of time, so it's really good and excited to have fresh new people who come in, who are very articulate, who appear to be very passionate and duly qualified for the job. So we're happy to have you all here. All right.
Thank you, sir. And I just want to personally welcome both of you to the district. If there's any need, my office is right outside behind these walls, so feel free to make your way around. And I'm sure Haiti and Van will be there to assist in any needs. Thank you again, and welcome aboard. At this point, I know Scott Goodell from IE Works is on the line, and I think Scott, you may want to say a few words regarding the internship program.
Sure, yeah. Again, just, very proud of our interns, being able to pull the program together in a very, expedited, right? People were at West Valley, right? We're really able to turn around our applications and get the folks in quickly. And, so appreciate all the help from the staff at West Valley to be able to, make it happen, really. It was something new, and usually things new, right, take some time. And I think everyone came together from HR to, the general managers, assistant general managers to design the program, make an effective program. And this will be really our, first go at it in this way. And we'll be doing some, analysis and making tweaks as we can be, but it seems like, we've got some great candidates, and just want to congratulate everybody.
Thank you, Scott. I also wanted to add that West Valley Water District is the lead agency in this program, and we are the first agency to actually have the interns on board. So it's a huge step forward. And just to let you guys know, I'm going to take 2 minutes to explain the process. We didn't just, pick these two people. Scott actually vetted an enormous amount of resumes, sent it over to us, then we screened them, and our operations team selected a handful of candidates for an actual interview process. And then they went through the interview process and was selected, and also went through a complete background and medical before they were actually offered the position. So it was a complete process, transparent process, and again, I am proud of the work that the board, the direction that the board provided for us and give us the opportunity to go ahead and offer these intern programs and introduce them to the industry. So thank you once again.
All right. Thank you all very much. And just one thing, Scott, and I think we have Dr. June on the line. How many agencies are currently signed up in our region with IE Works?
5.
Okay, and can you name those 5?
Yes, West Valley, Western Municipal, San Bernardino Municipal Water District, Rancho Water District, and IEUA.
All right, excellent. And so even in that, we might be small, but we're small compared to all of them, but we're leading the way. So it's good. So it's growing, and so as far as getting interns in the area, are there plans or other agencies also in the process of getting their interns going as far as interviewing, hiring, all that kind of stuff?
Yes, Western Municipal just conducted interviews this week, and they're going to be making offers as well this week by tomorrow. And IUA will be interviewing folks in late August. They're just scheduling those dates right now. And Rancho right now is sitting out this round. They already have interns as well. San Bernardino Valley is looking for more information to be able to develop a program. So we're going to be sharing information. That's the idea is agencies come in, we have programs developed, we'll be able to share within agencies how the programs work so they can develop programs as well and make sure they're successful.
All right, good. All right, so it sounds like we're starting to make some headway. Thank you very much. And I also want to just give one last shout out. I don't want to talk too much, sometimes I can. But I want to give a shout out to Chief Dr. Michael Taylor, because he was there at Valley College when we announced the partnership and talked about how this was similar to the Law Enforcement Academy, and creating something like this had been needed because his experience making it all the way to Chief of Police, and that we stood there that day with Valley College, and we're so fortunate today that fruit from that meeting, from that press conference that day, is that we have our folks here from Valley College. So I just want to give a special shout out for Dr. Taylor for standing along and making sure we kind of sealed the deal with Valley College that day. So thank you very much, Dr. Taylor. So with that being said, let's move on to the next presentation.
So I'll have Linda talk about the progress on the Romer expansion project. She's going to give us an update.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, President Hawkins and members of the board. Just wanted to give you a quick update on the Oliver P. Romer Water Filtration Facility Expansion Project. So right now, the SRF loan funding is what we're working on with our consultants. We are preparing the loan packages, the general information package, and has been submitted along with the technical and financial package. We've been assigned an SRF project manager, and the last package to be completed is the environmental package. And what that entails is we've prepared a draft ISM&D, and that was just completed, and we'll be circulating that for a 30-day review period for the public. And we will also be preparing the environmental package for the SRF funding, and then we'll bring that back to the board for approval in September. On the DB firm side, we have issued an expression of interest, and we received that from 6 DB firms. And we've also posted a request for qualifications on Planet Bids in June and done virtual presentations. We've had individual site visits with 3 of the teams, and we expect 4 of those teams will be submitting their qualifications, and we'll be receiving those on August 18th. And then we're doing interviews after that. We expect that there could be some potential impacts to construction costs on the project. Number one being COVID-19. In the 30% design that we've completed, we've also identified some other items and some upgrades, modifications, and replacement of items that are currently at the Romer that we would like to also address during this expansion project. Some of the things that were not included in the original cost estimate were upgrades to our SCADA and the integration of the SCADA with the old SCADA, replacing of some airlines that we've noticed have been corroding, some improvements along Riverside Avenue, the 30-inch effluent pipeline that would take water from the plant up to our reservoir site, a new backup generator, UV recovery pump upgrades, and some additional improvements. As I had mentioned, the modifications include the SCADA and security upgrades. I know you've probably heard about some things in the news about Florida, so we want to make sure that we're addressing all of those items here with our expansion. So the new expansion will be having new software, new equipment. We'll be putting in new equipment for the old equipment that we have and integrating those two systems and then providing safety features. As I mentioned, the airlines have corroded, and so we'll be replacing some of those. As you can see from the photo here, this site along Riverside Avenue is unimproved at the moment, and we're looking at what we can do to do some improvements, curb and gutter, sidewalks, maybe some landscaping along that area. The 30-inch transmission pipeline, as I mentioned, we have a pipeline now, but it's not enough for the additional capacity that the plant will provide, so we'll be putting in a new effluent pipeline. Other modifications are a backup generator to power the plant in the event that we have a power outage. That would be large enough to handle the entire facility. And we're also looking at new spaces, labs, SCADA room, a dedicated PLC room, restrooms, and work and break areas. Other modifications are a new recycled pipeline, a retaining wall for the new pump station that we're putting in, site paving, and some other modifications to the site entrance to allow chemical trucks and other things to access the facility. As you know, COVID-19 has brought its challenges. We're expecting a cost increase. I don't know if anybody is aware, but we had a supply and demand issue, as you can tell, the toilet paper issue. We're having that across the board with everything. So whether that's something you order on Amazon or something that we order here at the district, we're seeing price increases, availability problems, and delay of getting those items. And also, we're also seeing increased costs for transit for delivering those goods. Just a quick update, kind of COVID-19 as it has hit everybody. Just steel prices alone since March 2020 have gone up 215%. So with those kind of indicators, we were expecting some cost increases. We don't know what those are right now, but as soon as we do, we'll be bringing that back to the board. Our next step, we've released the RFQ. We've done the virtual presentation. We have submitted most of the SRF packages, so just the environmental one left, and receive the qualifications, and then we'll be bringing back the secret document to the board for approval in September. And that's the end of my report.
I did have one question. Well, do any of the members of the board have a question?
No.
No, I don't know.
Quite a complete presentation. Thank you, Linda.
Thank you, Linda.
No. Well, I just have one about the curb gutter sidewalk on Riverside Avenue. That's definitely a good improvement to the project. I know some folks really been wanting it, but I'm in agreement. I drove by the other day. Is it also going to encompass some kind of drought resistant or some kind of plant foliage right there, so it can have something that represents, demonstrates, drought tolerant vegetation or something?
That's correct. We're looking at some landscaping that would be drought tolerant.
Okay.
Along that area between Linden and Cedar.
All right. Now, for that component, are we seeking any grant funding or external funding? I know for, some of these road improvements, and sometimes when you are, I know a few years back, whenever you were installing some kind of drought tolerant zero state there was additional funding available, whether it's from the state or some other local source? Is that?
Good evening, Nassim Baruki, Director of Government Legislative Affairs. President Hawkins, we are actually meeting with our state and federal lobbyists this coming Monday on a number of projects, what exactly we're looking for funding. That is one of the items that we will be looking at.
Okay.
So we are actively pursuing that.
Okay. And I think, Valley had some, I'm not sure, we can't talk about any.
Actually, one of the phone calls we
Okay, all right.
and having a meeting, so Dr. June will definitely, be reaching out to your team.
All right, great, excellent. That's all the questions I have. Excellent presentation, Linda. Thank you for the job that you're doing on this project.
And I have something to add to that, speaking about funding requests. For the SCADA upgrade, we've actually requested $500,000 in federal funding from Senator Alex Padilla's office for the upgrade, which he included in his request in the 22 transportation HUD funding bill. So hopefully we will get some money there as well. So we are putting our lobbyists to work.
There you go. There you go. Great, excellent. I mean, hey, they are giving out some money in DC. We might as well get our piece. All right, anything else? If there's nothing else, that's the final presentation. No other questions. We have the consent calendar. Do we have a motion?
Mr. President?
Consent calendar.
Yes.
Mr. President, I request that items 16 and 21 be voted on separately.
16, 21. Okay, 16 and 21 be voted separately. Okay.
I'll move the balance.
Okay, Director Young, Brad Young will move the balance. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right, it's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? All right, being no discussion, Secretary Ashe, call for the vote.
Director Dr. Clifford Young,
Yes.
Director Greg Young,
Yes.
Director Dr. Michael Taylor,
Yes.
Vice President Kyle Crowther,
Yes.
and President Channing Hawkins.
Yes.
Mr. President,
Yes.
I'd like to vote to move items that have been separate vote, items 16 and 21. I'd like to have those two items moved forward.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Is there any discussion? All right. Seeing no discussion, Secretary Ashe, call for the vote.
Director Dr. Clifford Young,
No.
Director Greg Young,
Yes.
Director Dr. Michael Taylor,
Yes.
Vice President Kyle Crowther,
Yes.
and President Channing Hawkins.
Yes. Okay. All right. There are no business matters for tonight. So we move on to reports. Reports by board members, starting with Director Young.
Thank you. Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. I do want to congratulate our new employees and our new interns. Welcome to West Valley, and it's so good to see you here. And a lot's been said about the program. I just want to say congratulations to all of you and everyone who's been involved. It's really wonderful to see this all come together, and thank you, President Hawkins, for your leadership on this. This has been a real wonderful thing to actually see come to fruition. There's been lots of talk by some of those who've been in this building a long time about the need to do something like this. It's always been kind of scattered kind of here and there. It's nice to actually see something come together, and I would have never imagined doing it on the scale that we are and partnering with other agencies and outside organizations, but it's really fantastic. So welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your interest in water, and thank you to everyone who had a hand in putting this together. It's really fantastic. I did want to speak briefly, and President Hawkins, forgive me if I get a little emotional, but the last 3 weeks have been rather trying for my family. 3 weeks ago, we had a board meeting and I was not here in attendance. Because that morning, my father was involved in a plane crash.
Oh.
So I
sorry
was
to
at the
hear that.
hospital in the emergency room.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So, it's been a very difficult time. Thankfully, you know, my dad is doing well. But it's been a very emotional few weeks, to say the least. And, you know, I was at work at the hospital, my sister was at work, and we get a message from my mom that my dad's been in a plane crash. My dad's been a pilot for over 50 years, never had an issue ever before. My grandfather was a pilot, my uncle was a pilot. Somehow I never quite got the genes though, to be a pilot, but he's always done it and is about the most meticulous. He's an FAA certified mechanic, and it was really terrifying for my mom because how she found out was rather terrifying, in that she got a call, she was in the bathroom, and the call was from Air Force Search and Rescue. Because on my dad's plane, there's a transponder that goes off if you're in a crash. Now, my dad had just been installing it, so she thought, okay, maybe it just got set off. You know, he was out at the airport working on the plane. But then she flipped on by then, the 11 o'clock news on Thursday 3 weeks ago to see my dad's plane flipped over at the airport. And it was 10 horrific minutes for her before she heard from the hospital that he was at Riverside Community. So I rushed, as did my sister. I swooped up my mom and we rushed right over there. Thankfully, he was doing well, all things considering, me being in a plane crash and all. But he was up there with his friend and flight instructor. He was getting tested out on some new avionics in the plane. And as they were coming in for final landing, they lost power. The engine went out on them. And they had about 10 seconds, about enough time for my dad to radio that to the tower that they'd lost power, but they did not have enough altitude to make it the rest of the way to the runway at that point. So they impacted rather hard on the far edge of the airport property, but well short of the runway at that point. The plane hit so hard it cracked most of the landing gear, buckled the fuselage, and the ground being fairly uneven, the plane caught and flipped over upside down. My dad blacked out momentarily, but then regained consciousness and unbuckled himself and crawled out and helped his friend, get out of the plane. Thankfully, the plane didn't catch on fire. It was full of fuel. They had just gassed up. Search and rescue, the ambulance came and got him, but, I was the first one to get in to see him. It was a rather difficult time because obviously with COVID restrictions, they only let one person in the emergency room these days, which is fun because they have nowhere for you to sit at Riverside Community. So my poor mom is outside in the 100+ degree weather with no shade. So we had to take turns sitting with her in the car, and in order to keep her cool with all of her health issues. But thankfully, the good Lord was looking over my dad and his friend, because for all intents and purposes, their injuries could have been so much worse. And I don't normally talk about things, but I did finally start to let people know over that weekend, and I had a lot of people reach out to me, so I did want to thank those in the community who heard of the incident and had reached out to me. I really do appreciate it. Normally, I'm not one to share a lot about personal things, but I do appreciate the outpouring of support. Thankfully, my dad's injuries could have been so much worse. He ended up with 2 fractured vertebrae in his neck and a cracked sternum from his safety harness. The safety harness saved his life. And thankfully, the skill of his flight instructor, who has been flying about equally as long, was able to put the unpowered plane down in such a way that it limited the amount of injury to them. Because of the way the plane hit and flipped over, most of the momentum carried forward and didn't just drive straight into the ground, because they were going about 80 miles an hour by the time they hit at that point. So thankfully, again, the good Lord, they're both doing well. they're both out of the hospital now. We had some harrowing days. My dad was in the ICU for quite a few days. They moved him out, and then they had to move him back in because of the collapsed lungs. But he's doing much better. He's home now. And it's just been, really, really a trying time for my family. I think it's been really hard on my mom because with all her health issues, my dad's kind of been her primary caregiver. But my sister and I are there to help out as much as we can. Thankfully, again, his injuries are so much less than what it could have been. I mean, in so many ways. So we're very, very thankful that him and his friend are doing well. They're both up and moving around. They're both twins, as we jokingly call them, so they're both wearing neck braces right now and will be for the next 4 to 8 weeks. But we're just really thankful that they didn't have any other injuries other than the neck fractures and the chest injuries from the safety harnesses. Because again, most of that momentum carried forward, and it really saved them from even worse injuries. So that's why I wasn't here 3 weeks ago. I was a little occupied, and I think you'll all understand why, but I did want to say thank you to those in the community who reached out to me in the days and weeks since then to ask how my dad's doing. Again, he's doing well, all things considering. He's extremely lucky, but it was a very difficult time the past few weeks. So thank you to all those who did reach out to me, and sorry I missed you, but I think now you understand why. But I'm back here and look forward to continuing our work here at the district. But I did want to thank the people out there who reached out. So thank you very much. Sorry to kind of put a damper on the meeting, but again, thank you for all the new faces here. Look forward to your future success. And with that, Mr. President, I'm done. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I'm very sorry to hear about the incident with your father. My family is, we wish you all well. We're glad that you're here. We're glad that your family is intact. That God obviously had a hedge of protection over Mr. Young, and I didn't know about this situation, but I'm sure everyone here at West Valley, if there's anything we can do to comfort your family during this time, please let us know. Any other directors have any other comments? Director Crowther or Director Dr. Young or Dr. Taylor?
Greg, I just want to say I'm sorry to hear that happened with your dad, and I'm glad to hear that he's doing better. Also, I just want to say welcome aboard to the new staff, and it's really great that this program is working out well, and it seems to be spreading like a virus amongst the water community, which is a great thing.
All right. Kyle, Dr. Young?
No, Mr. President, I do not have any comments other than just welcoming the new staff members as well. And Greg, I'm glad your father and pilot are okay. You guys have a good one.
All right.
No comments.
Dr. Young?
No.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, with that being said, that, Mr. General Manager?
Just a few comments. Director Young, happy to hear that your dad's doing well. Sorry for what he's went through, but prayers are definitely a healing factor. So hopefully he will heal and we'll get past this. Welcome again to the new staff and the interns. Fabulous environment, so take full advantage of your learning opportunities. This past 2 weeks, I attended the Southern California Water Coalition quarterly meeting in Ontario, and we had a very fruitful conversation with a few of my colleagues, and also I met some new people there, and we kind of shared some stories. And IE Works, believe it or not, was one of the discussion topics. So that was a very interesting, fun gathering. Also wanted to just let the board know that we continuing our partnership with Valley Water. They supported us in our WIFIA letter submittal request, and they've asked us to do the same in return for them. So we did work with them and provided a letter of support. So our partnership is strong, and we are continuing to work with other agencies so we can be a strong entity together. Thank everyone for all you've done over the past couple of weeks. I've attended the the utility management conference yesterday, and interestingly enough, some of the colleagues there are doing some of the same things we're doing as far as plant expansion. And I spoke to one of them and asked about, their expansion and the size of it. And their plant is being expanded to a 3.2 MGD. And when I told him we're going from 14 to 21, he almost fell off his chair. So just wanted to say it was great, and it was nice talking to some folks and letting them know that we're all doing the same thing here. So good night, and thank you all again.
Okay, all right, Mr. General Counsel.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. I also wanted to just pass on my good wishes, Director Young, to you and your father. I'm very glad to hear he's doing well. And I'm sure that for your father and your family, the best is yet to come. So my good wishes to that. Mr. President, the board considered numerous items in closed session. No final action was taken, therefore there's no reportable action, and that concludes my report.
All right, with that being said, this meeting is adjourned. Nasim, we have to, y'all don't leave yet. We're gonna get a few